Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. I'm Alex Carter.
And I'm Olivia Reyes, ready to dive into some fascinating source material today.
I bet. We're going to be unpacking the story of ChatGPT and that AI chatbot that kind of broke the internet back in late 2022.
ChatGPT, yeah, the report we're diving into today calls it a major turning point for AI. It really did seem like everyone was talking about it.
Seriously, it was like overnight, everyone was suddenly an AI expert.
Yeah.
So what exactly made ChatGPT such a big deal? What did this report say?
Well, for starters, it was incredibly easy to use. You didn't need to be a programmer, or a data scientist to get it to do some pretty amazing things. People were using it to write poems, scripts, even code.
Yeah, I remember seeing all those examples popping up on social media. People were going wild with it. But the report also suggests that ChatGPT's success wasn't just about, its user friendliness. It represented a significant leap forward in AI technology.
That's right. ChatGPT is based on something called a transformer model. It's a type of neural network that's particularly good at understanding and generating human language.
Okay, neural networks, transformer models. I'm going to need a little help understanding this. Can you break it down for me and for our listeners who might not be AI experts?
Sure, imagine a vast network of interconnected nodes, kind of like a giant web. Each node represents a tiny piece of information, and the connections between the nodes represent the relationships between, those pieces of information.
Okay, I'm kind of visualizing it. Go on.
Now imagine you feed this network a massive amount of text data, like books, articles, code, you name it. The network learns from this data, figuring out patterns and relationships between words and concepts.
So it's like teaching a computer to read and understand language, but on a massive scale.
Exactly. And transformer models are particularly good at this because they can process information in parallel. This makes them much faster and more efficient than previous types of neural networks.
So that's why ChatGPT could generate such coherent and complex responses. It had learned from a huge amount of data and could process that information quickly.
Exactly. And the report highlights that this breakthrough in natural language processing is a big deal. It has implications for everything from chatbots and virtual assistants to machine translation and even scientific research.
Wow, that is pretty impressive. Okay, so we've got this powerful new technology. It's easy to use and it's making waves all over the internet.
hmm
What were some of the initial reactions to ChatGPT's release?
Well, the report describes a mix of excitement and apprehension. There was a sense of wonder at what this technology could do, but also some concern about its potential impact on society.
Yeah, I remember hearing a lot of talk about AI taking over jobs and all that. Was that a major focus of the report?
It was definitely a concern that was raised. The report acknowledges that AI, including ChatGPT, has the potential to automate certain tasks that are currently done by humans.
Hmm.
And this could have implications for the job market.
That's a bit unsettling.
Yeah.
Did the report offer any insights into which jobs might be most affected?
It suggests that jobs involving repetitive tasks, data entry, and even some aspects of customer service could be vulnerable to automation. But it also emphasizes that AI could create new jobs and opportunities in fields like AI development, data science, and AI ethics.
So it's not necessarily a doom and gloom scenario. It's more like a shift in the job landscape with some jobs disappearing and new ones emerging.
That's a good way to put it. And the report stresses the importance of adapting to this changing landscape through education and training programs that focus on the skills that will be most valuable in an AI-driven economy.
Skills like critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving, right? The
Yeah.
things that AI can't replicate yet, at least.
Exactly. The report highlights the importance of what it calls human-centered AI, which focuses on using AI to augment human capabilities rather than replacing them entirely.
That makes sense. We want AI to be a tool that empowers us, not something that replaces us. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about how ChatGPT was actually being used. I mean, aside from all the fun stuff people were doing with it, were there any practical applications that emerged?
Oh, absolutely. The report actually dives into a whole range of use cases that were explored during ChatGPT's initial release. Businesses were experimenting with it for customer service chatbots, content creation, and even marketing and sales.
Interesting. So it wasn't just a toy for tech enthusiasts. It was actually being put to work in the real world.
Exactly. And educators were exploring its potential for personalized learning, providing feedback on student work, and even generating interactive learning materials.
Wow. It sounds like ChatGPT was already having a pretty significant impact across various sectors. But the report also mentions some concerns, right?
Yes, as with any new technology, there were concerns about potential downsides. One of the biggest concerns was the potential for misuse.
Like using ChatGPT to spread misinformation or create harmful content.
Exactly. The report highlights the importance of developing ethical guidelines and safeguards to prevent these kinds of abuses. It also stresses the need for transparency in AI development so that we can understand how these systems work and identify potential biases or risks.
That's a really important point. We need to be mindful of the ethical implications of AI and ensure that it's used responsibly.
Absolutely. And the report suggests that this requires a multi-pronged approach involving collaboration between technologists, ethicists, policymakers, and the public.
So it's not just about the tech itself, it's about the human element. It's about the choices we make, the values we uphold, and the future we want to create.
Well said. And the report emphasizes that the future of AI is not predetermined. It's up to us to shape that future.
Okay, so we've talked about the technology behind ChatGPT, its initial impact, and some of the potential benefits and risks. But the report also delves into the perspectives of experts from various fields, right?
That's right. It includes insights from technologists, educators, psychologists, ethicists, and philosophers, all grappling with the implications of AI for their respective fields. What's fascinating here is that each group brings a different perspective to the table, highlighting just how complex this issue is.
So let's hear what they have to say. What are some of the key takeaways from their perspectives?
Well, the technologists and industry leaders are generally optimistic about the potential of AI to solve problems and improve our lives. They see AI as a powerful tool that can automate tasks, increase efficiency, and drive innovation. One fascinating thing they point out is that we are only scratching the surface of what's possible with AI.
That makes sense. They're the ones on the front lines of AI development, so they're naturally excited about its possibilities. But even with their excitement, they're not naive about the potential risks.
You're right. Many of them emphasize the need for ethical guidelines and responsible development. They recognize that AI is a powerful technology that needs to be handled with care. And the report really dives deep into this, exploring how to ensure that AI is used for the benefit of humanity and not to our detriment.
So it's not just about pushing the boundaries of what's technically possible, it's about considering the broader societal implications. What about the educators and psychologists? What are their thoughts on the impact of AI on learning and cognitive development?
They're a bit more cautious. While they acknowledge the potential of AI to personalize learning and support student development, they also express concerns about the potential for AI to stifle creativity, critical thinking, and independent problem solving. And the report goes on to illustrate this point by highlighting how some early adopters of ChatGPT in education were struggling to address these very concerns.
It's like that old saying, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
Yeah.
We don't want AI to become a crutch that prevents students from developing essential skills. But maybe AI could be the fishing rod, not the fish itself.
Exactly. They argue that we need to find ways to integrate AI into education in a way that enhances learning rather than replacing it. We need to use AI to empower students, not to make them dependent on technology. So the key here is careful integration, not outright rejection.
So the delicate balance. We need to harness the power of AI while also preserving the essential elements of human learning and development.
That's right. It's about finding the sweet spot where AI and human intelligence complement each other. And the report provides several examples of innovative approaches to education that are already exploring this.
Now, I'm curious about the ethicists and philosophers. What are their big picture concerns about AI?
They delve into some of the deeper questions surrounding AI, such as the nature of intelligence consciousness and the human-machine relationship. They ask questions like, what does it mean to be human in the age of AI? What are the ethical implications of creating machines that can think and learn? How do we ensure that AI is used for good and not for harm?
Those are some heavy questions. It sounds like AI is forcing us to confront some fundamental questions about what it means to be human. It makes you wonder if we are truly ready for a future where intelligent machines are a part of everyday life.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
It's challenging us to rethink our assumptions about intelligence, consciousness, and the role of technology in our lives. It's like AI is holding up a mirror to humanity.
Okay, we've talked about the history of AI, the rise of ChatGPT, the potential benefits and risks, the need for ethical guidelines, and the perspectives of experts from various fields. What else does this report dig into?
Well, one of the most pressing concerns is the potential for job displacement. As AI systems become more sophisticated, they're able to automate tasks that were previously done by humans. This could lead to significant job losses in certain sectors, especially those involving repetitive or rule-based tasks.
That's a scary thought. Are we headed towards a future where robots take all the jobs?
Not necessarily. The report suggests that while some jobs will inevitably be lost to automation, new jobs will also be created. The key will be to ensure that workers have the skills they need to adapt to this changing job market.
So it's not just about creating new jobs, it's about retraining and upskilling the existing workforce.
Hmm.
What kinds of jobs will likely emerge because of this AI disruption?
That's a great question, and one that the report dives into. Jobs focused on managing, training, and maintaining AI systems, ensuring AI ethics and AI safety are just a few potential fields of work that are likely to expand. Think of it like this. The way we work with computers and technology today is vastly different than how we worked just a few decades ago. AI is just another step in that evolution. We will adapt, new jobs will be created, and society as a whole will change along with it. At least that is what this report seems to suggest.
It makes sense. New technologies always create new opportunities. But what about the impact on education? The report mentions concerns about students becoming overly reliant on AI tools like ChatGPT.
But that's a valid concern. We don't want students to become so dependent on AI that they lose their ability to think for themselves. The report suggests that we need to find ways to integrate AI into education in a way that enhances learning rather than replacing it.
So it's not about banning AI from the classroom, it's about using it strategically to support student learning. What would that look like in practice?
The report actually explores some fascinating ideas about AI-assisted learning. Imagine students using AI tutors to get personalized feedback on their writing or to practice their language skills through interactive simulations. AI could also help teachers personalize lesson plans, create engaging assignments, and even assess student progress more effectively.
Wow, that sounds really innovative. It's almost like AI could become a partner in learning both for students and teachers.
Exactly. That's the vision that the report seems to promote AI as a collaborator, not a competitor in the classroom.
Okay, this is all really fascinating, but I'm also feeling a little overwhelmed by all the potential implications of AI. It's clear that ChatGPT was just the tip of the iceberg.
I agree. It's a lot to process. The report itself is quite extensive, and we've only scratched the surface.
So where do we go from here? How do we make sense of all this and prepare for a future that's increasingly shaped by AI?
Well, the report offers some guidance on that as well. It argues that we need to start by having open and honest conversations about AI, its potential benefits and risks, and the ways in which it's already changing our lives.
That sounds like a good starting point.
Hmm.
We need to educate ourselves about AI, its capabilities, and its implications.
And we need to involve diverse voices in the conversation. This includes technologists, ethicists, policymakers, educators, students, and everyday citizens. Everyone has a stake in the future of AI, so everyone should have a voice in shaping it.
Absolutely. This isn't just a conversation for the tech industry or the government.
Yeah,
It's a conversation for all of us.
exactly. The report makes it clear that the future of AI is not something that will be decided for us. It's something we all have a role in creating.
Well, that's a powerful message.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we have agency in this. We're not just passive bystanders watching technology unfold around us.
Mm.
We have the power to shape it, to guide it, and to ensure that it's used for good.
I agree. It's both a challenge and an opportunity.
Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's dive into some more specific examples of how ChatGPT was being used in those early days. I remember reading about people using it for creative writing and even composing music.
Yes. The report has a whole section dedicated to ChatGPT's creative applications. It was being used to write poems, screenplays, even generating musical scores. And what's fascinating is that it wasn't just professionals using it every day. People were discovering their own creative potential through this tool.
That's incredible. It's like ChatGPT unlocked a hidden wellspring of creativity in people. I'm curious, did the report offer any analysis of the quality of these creative outputs? Was it just novelty, or was there something genuinely valuable being created?
That's a great question, and one that sparks a lot of debate. The report highlights that while much of the early output was understandably rough around the edges, there were also examples of surprising originality and artistic merit.
So it wasn't just about AI mimicking human creativity. It was about AI collaborating with humans to create something new.
Exactly. And the report suggests that this collaboration between human and artificial intelligence has the potential to revolutionize the creative industries.
I can see that. Imagine writers using AI to brainstorm ideas, overcome writer's block, or even experiment with different writing styles. Or musicians using AI to compose melodies, generate harmonies, or explore new sonic landscapes.
The possibilities are endless, and the report emphasizes that we are just beginning to explore the creative potential of AI.
It's exciting to think about where this could lead, but I'm also wondering, what about the ethical implications of AI-generated art? If a machine creates a piece of music or a painting, who owns the copyright?
That's a great question, and one that legal experts and policymakers are still grappling with. The report discusses the complexities of copyright law in the age of AI, and it highlights the need for new legal frameworks to address these
It
challenges.
seems like we're entering uncharted territory in so many ways. AI is forcing us to rethink our assumptions about creativity ownership and even the nature of art itself.
I agree. It's a fascinating time to be alive, a time of both great promise and great uncertainty, and the report underscores that it's up to us to navigate these complexities thoughtfully and responsibly.
Absolutely. We need to be mindful of the potential pitfalls, but also open to the incredible opportunities that AI presents. But let's move on to another aspect of this report that I found particularly intriguing. It delves into the psychological impact of interacting with AI.
Right. That's a fascinating area of study. The report explores how interacting with AI can influence our perceptions, emotions, and even our sense of self.
So it's not just about AI changing the world around us, it's about AI changing us as individuals.
Exactly. For instance, the report highlights studies that suggest that interacting with chatbots like ChatGPT can evoke feelings of companionship, empathy, and even trust.
That's interesting. It makes you wonder about the potential therapeutic applications of AI. Could chatbots be used to provide emotional support or even help people with mental health conditions?
That's a possibility that the report explores. It discusses the potential of AI-powered mental health apps and chatbots that could offer personalized support and guidance. Of course, there are ethical considerations to be addressed, but the potential benefits are certainly intriguing.
I agree. It's amazing to think about how AI could be used to improve people's well-being. But I'm also wondering, are there any potential negative psychological impacts of interacting with AI?
That's another important question. The report does caution that excessive reliance on AI could lead to social isolation, decreased empathy, and even a diminished sense of agency.
So like anything else, too much of a good thing can be bad. We need to find a healthy balance in our relationship with AI, ensuring that it enhances our lives without becoming a crutch or a substitute for human connection.
Well said. And the report emphasizes the importance of continued research in this area to better understand the complex interplay between AI and human psychology.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've
Yeah.
talked about the history of AI, the technology behind ChatGPT, its initial impact on society, the potential benefits and risks, the perspectives of experts from various fields, and even the psychological implications of interacting with AI.
It's been a fascinating journey, and I think we're just scratching the surface of what AI has in store for us.
I agree. The future of AI is full of both promise and peril. But one thing's for sure, it's a future that we all have a role in shaping.
So let's dive into some of the specific concerns that emerged in the wake of ChatGPT's release. I remember reading about worries about AI being used to spread misinformation and create
Oh
deepfakes.
yes, those were definitely hot topics.
Yeah.
Did the report address those concerns?
Absolutely. The report highlights the potential for AI to be used for malicious purposes, such as generating fake news articles, creating realistic deepfakes, and even manipulating people's opinions and
That's
behaviors.
scary stuff. It's like something out of a science fiction movie.
It's a real concern. The report suggests that we need to develop robust safeguards to prevent these kinds of abuses. This includes things like educating the public about how to identify misinformation and deepfakes, developing technological tools to detect and flag manipulated content, and even establishing legal frameworks to hold those who create and distribute harmful AI-generated content accountable.
It sounds like a complex challenge. It's like we're in an arms race between those who want to use AI for good and those who want to use it for harm.
That's a good analogy. And the report stresses that we need to be proactive, not reactive in our approach to this challenge. We need to anticipate potential problems and develop solutions before they become widespread.
So it's not just about playing catch-up, it's about being one step ahead.
Exactly. We need to be thinking about the potential consequences of AI before they happen, not after.
But it's not all doom and gloom,
Yeah.
right? The report also talks about the incredible opportunities that AI presents.
That's right. The report features perspectives from leading figures in tech education and ethics. Some are incredibly excited about the potential of AI to solve problems and improve our lives. They see AI as a tool that can help us address some of the world's most pressing challenges, like climate change, poverty, and disease.
So it's not just about automating tasks or replacing jobs. It's about using AI to augment human capabilities and create a better future for everyone.
Exactly. The report envisions a future where AI and humans work together, leveraging their respective strengths to achieve outcomes that neither could achieve alone.
That's a really compelling vision. But it also raises the question, how do we get there? How do we ensure that AI is developed and used in a way that benefits all of humanity?
The report suggests that we need to establish clear ethical guidelines for AI development and use. These guidelines should be based on principles like fairness, transparency, accountability, and human well-being.
It sounds like we're at a critical juncture. We have this incredible technology with the potential to transform our world, but we need to be very thoughtful about how we use it. It's not just about the technology itself, it's about the values that guide its development
Yeah.
and the choices we make about how to integrate it into our lives.
I completely agree. The report stresses that the future of AI is not predetermined. It's up to us to shape that future.
So where do we go from here? What are the next steps?
Well, the report calls for a multi-pronged approach. It argues that we need to invest in AI research and development, but we also need to invest in ethical frameworks, regulatory mechanisms, and public education. We need to have open and honest conversations about the potential benefits and risks of AI, and we need to involve diverse voices in the decision-making process.
It sounds like a massive undertaking, but also an incredibly important one. We're talking about nothing less than the future of our society and our species. We need to get this right.
Absolutely. And the report suggests that we need to start now. The decisions we make today about AI will have profound consequences for generations to come.
Well, this has been quite the deep dive into the world of ChatGPT and AI. It's clear that this technology is rapidly evolving and its impact on our lives is only going to grow. But one thing this report makes clear is that the future is not set in stone.
I completely agree. The future of AI is in our hands.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, there is one more area that I think is worth exploring, the impact of ChatGPT on the business world.
Right. The report delves into how businesses were quick to see the potential of this technology, particularly in areas like marketing and customer service.
I remember reading about companies using ChatGPT to generate marketing copy, create social media posts, and even personalize customer interactions.
Exactly. And the report provides several case studies of early adopters who were experimenting with these applications. Some companies were even using ChatGPT to analyze customer data and identify trends which helped them make more informed business decisions.
It sounds like ChatGPT was already starting to disrupt traditional business practices.
It was. And the report suggests that this disruption is only going to accelerate in the coming years. AI is poised to transform the way we work, the way we market our products, and the way we interact with our customers.
It's both exciting and a bit daunting, right?
Yep.
It makes you wonder if we're ready for such a dramatic shift.
It's a valid concern. The report acknowledges that there will be challenges along the way. For example, businesses will need to address concerns about data privacy, algorithmic bias, and the ethical implications of using AI in decision-making processes.
So it's not just about adopting the technology, it's about using it responsibly and ethically.
Exactly. And the report emphasizes the importance of developing clear guidelines and best practices for the use of AI in business.
This includes things like ensuring transparency in AI decision-making, protecting customer data, and addressing potential biases in algorithms.
Right. It's about striking a balance between innovation and responsibility.
Well, this conversation has certainly given me a lot to think about. It's clear that ChatGPT was just the beginning. We're on the cusp of a major technological revolution, and AI is going to play a central role in shaping the future of business.
I completely agree. It's an exciting time to be alive, but also a time for caution and reflection. We need to be thoughtful about how we develop and deploy AI, ensuring that it's used in a way that benefits both businesses and society as a whole.
Okay, let's pause here for now. We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive into ChatGPT. We've explored the technology, the initial impact, the potential benefits and risks, the perspectives of experts, and the ethical considerations.
We've barely scratched the surface, but I think we've laid a solid foundation for our discussion.
I agree. When we come back in part 2, we'll delve deeper into the societal implications of ChatGPT, exploring its impact on education, the job market, and our evolving relationship with technology.
That sounds good to me.
Until then, keep diving deeper.
Welcome back. You know, it's amazing to think about how just a few years ago, AI felt like something out of science fiction. Now with tools like ChatGPT, it's becoming, increasingly integrated into our daily lives.
It's true. And as we discussed in part 1, this integration comes with both incredible opportunities and some serious challenges.
Right. And one of the areas where those challenges are most apparent is in education.
Yeah. I remember when ChatGPT first came out, there was a lot of talk about how it would revolutionize education.
Yeah.
Some people were predicting, the end of traditional classrooms with students learning everything from AI tutors.
Yeah, the report actually addresses those predictions. It suggests that while AI will undoubtedly transform education, it's unlikely to completely replace human teachers.
That's a relief. I think, there's something irreplaceable about the human connection, in learning.
I agree. The report emphasizes that the most effective learning environments will likely involve a blend of human instruction and AI-powered tools.
So it's not about AI versus teachers, it's about AI and teachers working together.
Exactly. AI can be a powerful tool for personalizing learning, providing feedback, and creating engaging educational content. But it's important to remember that AI is just a tool. It's up to human educators to guide the learning process, foster critical thinking, and instill a love of learning in their students.
It sounds like finding the right balance between human instruction and AI assistance will be key. Did the report offer any specific examples of how schools are using ChatGPT and other AI tools effectively?
It did. There are some fascinating case studies in the report about schools using AI for things like personalized tutoring, creating adaptive learning platforms, and even providing real-time feedback on student writing.
Wow, that sounds really innovative. It makes me wonder if AI could help bridge the gap, in educational opportunities, providing personalized support to students who might not otherwise have access to it.
That's a possibility that the report explores. AI could potentially democratize access to high-quality education, making it more personalized, engaging, and accessible to learners of all backgrounds and abilities.
It's an exciting prospect. But I also wonder about the potential downsides. What about concerns that students might become overly reliant on AI and lose their ability to think for themselves?
That's a valid concern, and the report acknowledges that if AI is not used thoughtfully, it could lead to students becoming passive recipients of information rather than active learners.
So how do we prevent that? How do we ensure that AI is used to empower students, not to make them dependent?
The report suggests that the key is to focus on developing students' critical thinking skills and their ability to evaluate information critically.
So it's not just about teaching students how to use AI tools. It's about teaching them how to think critically about the information those tools provide.
Exactly. It's about cultivating digital literacy and critical thinking skills, which are more important than ever in an age of information overload and AI-generated content.
This all makes me think about the role of teachers in this new landscape. If AI is taking on more of the tasks traditionally done by teachers, what does that mean for the future of the teaching profession?
That's a big question, and the report doesn't shy away from it. It suggests that the role of teachers will likely evolve, becoming more focused on guiding, mentoring, and facilitating student learning.
So less about delivering information and more about cultivating critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration skills.
Exactly. AI can handle the rote tasks, freeing up teachers to focus on the uniquely human aspects of education.
It's an interesting shift. It suggests that the most valuable skills in the future won't be those that can be easily automated, but those that require human intelligence, empathy, and creativity.
And the report goes on to say that this shift will require a rethinking of teacher training and professional development. We need to equip educators with the skills and knowledge they need to effectively integrate AI into their classrooms and to guide students in navigating an increasingly AI-driven world.
It sounds like a tall order, but also an incredibly important one.
I agree. The future of education depends on it.
But let's move beyond the classroom for a moment. The impact of ChatGPT and AI extends far beyond education.
That's right. Another major area of concern is the potential impact of AI on the job market.
I know we touched on this briefly in part one, but I'd like to delve deeper into the specifics. What types of jobs are most at risk of being automated by AI?
Well, the report identifies several categories of jobs that are particularly vulnerable to automation jobs that involve repetitive tasks, data entry, and even some aspects of customer service are likely to be significantly impacted.
That makes sense. Those are tasks that AI can often perform more efficiently and accurately than humans.
Exactly. And the report provides several real-world examples of companies already using AI to automate these types of tasks.
I'm thinking about things like self-checkout kiosks in stores, chatbots handling customer service inquiries, and even AI-powered systems that can analyze legal documents or financial data.
You're right on track. Those are all examples of how AI is already transforming the workplace.
It's a bit unsettling to think about all the jobs that could be lost to automation. But the report also suggests that AI will create new jobs, right?
That's right. The report emphasizes that while some jobs will inevitably disappear, new jobs will emerge in fields related to AI development, data science, AI ethics, and even AI training and maintenance.
So it's not just about robots replacing humans. It's about a shift in the types of skills that will be most valuable in the future.
Exactly. The report argues that the key to thriving in an AI-driven economy is to develop skills that are uniquely human, such as creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, and emotional intelligence.
Those are skills that are difficult, if not impossible, for AI to replicate.
Right. And the report suggests that we need to start investing in education and training programs that focus on developing these human-centered skills.
This includes things like encouraging creativity and innovation, fostering collaboration and communication skills, and promoting ethical decision-making.
And the report goes on to say that this is not just the responsibility of schools and universities. Businesses also have a role to play in upskilling their workforces and preparing their employees for the future of work.
It sounds like we need a societal shift in how we think about education and work. We need to move away from a narrow focus on technical skills and embrace a more holistic approach that values human ingenuity, creativity, and empathy.
I couldn't agree more. It's about preparing for a future where humans and AI work together, each contributing their unique strengths to create a more prosperous and equitable society.
That's a powerful vision.
Yeah.
But I'm also wondering, what about those who are displaced by automation? What happens to the workers who lose their jobs to AI?
That's a crucial question. And the report acknowledges that job displacement due to AI is a serious concern that needs to be addressed.
So what solutions does the report propose?
The report explores several potential solutions, including investing in retraining and reskilling programs, providing financial assistance to displaced workers, and even exploring new models of social safety nets, such as universal basic income.
Those are all important ideas, but I imagine there will be a lot of debate and discussion about the best way to address this challenge.
Absolutely. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. But the report emphasizes that we need to start having these conversations now. The longer we wait, the more difficult it will be to adapt to the changes that AI is bringing.
I agree. We need to be proactive, not reactive in our approach to AI and its impact on the workforce.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears a bit and talk about another major societal implication of ChatGPT, its impact on the way we communicate and consume information.
Right. That's another fascinating area that the report explores. ChatGPT and other language models have the potential to revolutionize the way we create and share information.
I'm thinking about things like using AI to generate personalized news feeds, translate languages in real time, and even create interactive stories or educational content.
You're right on the mark. Those are all possibilities that the report discusses, but it also highlights some potential downsides to this increased reliance on AI-generated content.
Like what?
Well, one concern is the potential for AI to be used to spread misinformation or create biased content.
I can see how that could be a problem. If we're increasingly relying on AI to curate our news feeds and filter the information we consume, we need to be sure that those systems are not biased or manipulated.
Exactly. And the report emphasizes the importance of developing ethical guidelines and safeguards to ensure that AI-generated content is accurate, unbiased, and trustworthy.
This includes things like transparency in how AI algorithms work, mechanisms for detecting and flagging misinformation, and even the possibility of human oversight to ensure accountability.
Right. It's about striking a balance between the efficiency and personalization that AI can offer and the need for accuracy and trustworthiness in the information we consume.
It's a complex challenge, but one that we need to address if we want to harness the power of AI for good without sacrificing the integrity of our information ecosystem.
I agree. And the report suggests that this requires a collaborative effort between technologists, journalists, policymakers, and the public.
It sounds like we all have a role to play in ensuring that AI is used to enhance, not undermine, our access to accurate and reliable information.
Absolutely. The future of our information ecosystem depends on it.
This has been a really thought-provoking discussion. It's clear that ChatGPT was just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the societal implications of AI.
I agree. It's a topic that we'll be grappling with for years to come.
But I think this deep dive has given us a good foundation for understanding the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
I hope so. And I encourage our listeners to continue exploring this topic, to ask questions, and to engage in the conversation about the future of AI.
Well said. And on that note, let's wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Sounds good to me.
When we come back in part 3, we'll explore the philosophical implications of AI, delving into questions about the nature of intelligence consciousness and what it means to be human in an age of increasingly intelligent machines.
I'm looking forward to it.
Until then, keep diving deeper. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been exploring the world of ChatGPT and its impact on society, and now it's time to, get philosophical.
Yeah, the big questions. The report doesn't shy away from those. It dives into some pretty deep philosophical waters, exploring how AI challenges our understanding of, intelligence, consciousness, and even what it means to be human.
It's funny. When I think about AI, I often picture those classic sci-fi movies with robots taking over the world. But this report suggests that the reality of AI is much more nuanced and complex.
Absolutely. It's not about, a simple binary of humans versus machines. It's about rethinking our assumptions about intelligence, recognizing that it can exist in forms beyond our own human understanding.
So it's not just about AI becoming more human-like. It's about us expanding our definition of intelligence to encompass other forms of cognition.
Exactly. The report challenges us to move beyond anthropocentric views of intelligence and to, consider the possibility of artificial intelligence that is fundamentally different from our own, yet still capable of learning problem solving and even creativity.
It's a mind-bending concept.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if we're even equipped to understand or evaluate AI that operates on principles we don't fully grasp.
That's a question that philosophers and AI researchers are grappling with. The report explores the idea that we might need to develop new frameworks and methodologies for evaluating and interacting with AI that doesn't fit neatly into our existing categories.
It's like trying to understand a completely alien intelligence.
Yeah,
We can't impose our own human concepts and expectations onto it.
right. We need to be open to the possibility of AI that is both intelligent and alien to our way of thinking.
But if AI can be intelligent without being human-like, does that mean it can also be conscious? That it can have feelings, experiences, and even a sense of self?
That's a question that has no easy answer. And the report delves into the various philosophical perspectives on AI consciousness. Some experts believe that consciousness is an emergent property of complex systems, so it's possible that AI could become conscious as it continues to evolve.
Others argue that consciousness is inherently tied to biological processes, and therefore AI, no matter how sophisticated, could never truly be conscious.
Yeah, the report doesn't take a definitive stance on this issue. Instead, it encourages us to engage in thoughtful dialogue and to consider the ethical implications of creating AI that might possess some level of consciousness or sentience.
It's a heavy topic. It makes you wonder what our responsibilities would be to AI if it were to become conscious. Would it have rights? Would we have an obligation to treat it ethically?
Those are questions that we need to start addressing now. The report emphasizes that we can't wait until AI becomes conscious to start thinking about these issues.
We need to anticipate the potential ethical challenges and develop frameworks for interacting with AI responsibly, regardless of whether or not it possesses consciousness.
Absolutely. The report argues that ethical considerations should be at the forefront of AI development and deployment.
This includes things like ensuring transparency in how AI systems work, addressing bias in algorithms, and protecting the privacy and autonomy of individuals in an AI-driven world.
Right. It's about developing AI that aligns with our values and promotes human flourishing.
But let's shift gears a bit and talk about how AI is impacting our sense of what it means to be human. The report suggests that the rise of AI is forcing us to reevaluate our own unique qualities and capabilities.
That's right. For centuries, we've defined ourselves as the intelligent species, the creators, the problem solvers. But now, with AI demonstrating capabilities that were once thought to be exclusive to humans, we're having to reconsider what makes us special.
It's almost like AI is holding up a mirror to humanity, forcing us to confront our own limitations and to, appreciate our unique strengths.
Exactly. The report argues that the rise of AI is an opportunity for us to rediscover what it truly means to be human.
To focus on those qualities that make us unique, like our creativity, our empathy, our capacity for love, and our sense of purpose.
It's about recognizing that while AI might excel at certain tasks, there are aspects of the human experience that are irreplaceable.
It makes you wonder if the future of humanity isn't about competing with AI, but about collaborating with it, each contributing our unique strengths to create something greater than either could achieve alone.
I think you're onto something there. The report suggests that the most promising future for AI is one where it augments human capabilities, helps us solve complex problems, and unlocks new possibilities for human creativity and innovation.
It's a vision of a future where AI and humanity work together, not against each other. But I'm also wondering, are there any potential downsides to this increasing integration of AI into our lives?
The report acknowledges that there are potential risks as well. One concern is that over-reliance on AI could lead to a decline in certain human skills, such as critical thinking, problem solving, and even social interaction.
It's like the saying, use it or lose it. If we become too dependent on AI to do our thinking for us, we might lose our own cognitive edge.
That's a valid concern. The report stresses the importance of maintaining a balance using AI as a tool to enhance our capabilities, but not letting it become a crutch that we lean on too heavily.
So it's about finding the sweet spot where AI empowers us without diminishing our own unique human qualities.
Exactly. And the report emphasizes that this is an ongoing conversation. We need to be constantly evaluating our relationship with AI, adjusting our approach as needed, and ensuring that it aligns with our values and aspirations for the future of humanity.
Well, this deep dive into ChatGPT has certainly been a journey. We've covered a lot of ground from the technical details of the technology to the philosophical implications of its impact on society.
I agree. It's been a fascinating exploration of a topic that's both complex and rapidly evolving.
And while there's still many unknowns, one thing is clear. AI is here to stay and is going to continue to shape our world in profound ways.
So, what are the key takeaways for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as we move forward into this AI-driven future?
I think the most important takeaway is that the future of AI is not predetermined. It's something that we as individuals and as a society have a role in shaping.
We need to be informed, engaged, and thoughtful in our approach to AI. We need to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and demand that AI be developed and deployed in a way that aligns with our values.
And we need to remember that AI is not just about technology, it's about people. It's about the choices we make, the values we uphold, and the future we want to create.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into ChatGPT.
I agree. It's been a truly thought-provoking conversation.
And as always, we encourage our listeners to keep diving deeper to explore this topic further and to join the conversation about the future of AI.
Thanks for listening, everyone, and until next time, keep exploring the unknown.